All right, we'll see how this goes because I'm going to try to do some three-dimensional stuff in a two-dimensional space. We're looking at front, side, and top views of objects. So here's a piece of wood. And it really depends on how I look at this thing. If I look at it like this, from this, you're seeing the top view because that's all I can show you. The top view like this, it looks like this big rectangle. But now let's look at a side view of it. Oh, the side view, now it looks like this smaller, skinnier rectangle. And what about if I look at another side view, this kind of end view of it? So it's all the same object, but depending on how I look at it, I get a totally different view of it. Here's another one. This one, oh. See, when I look like this, I see a square, but when I look like this, I see a rectangle. Hey. And now I see some kid scratch their name into this. What? They put a happy face. I'm trying to figure out what school. Was that this school or my last school? Who is that? Jamie? Do I? Okay, hey, okay, enough of that. Okay, enough of like figuring out who scratched my blocks. Okay, so here's this block. And the question is, if I look at this thing from the top, what am I going to see? Now the top, this is a side. This is a side, so I'm looking at the top. The top means coming down like this. So if I look down at the top of this, what do I see? Well, I see this right here. This is the top view. Yeah. So it's just about spatial reasoning and looking at something, and can you see it in your mind? Let's take a look at another one. If you look at this object from the side, now we're looking at this side view, what do you see? Now, I understand this, it looks like stair steps here, but mush it all into one layer, into one flat surface. What do I see? This is what I see. I see 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 over, 1, 2, 3 over. Ignore any depth perception. You're looking at just a flat surface. This is what you would see. Okay. This time I'm looking in like this, and just imagine it's completely flat. I don't see the steps. I have no depth perception. What do I see? Well, I see something that's too wide and too high. I see this one right here. Okay, I hope you can get good at seeing things and viewing them from different angles, because we're going to need this information as we continue with this geometry stuff. We've got to be able to kind of manipulate these shapes inside our brains and figure out what's going on with them. It's called spatial reasoning. It's important stuff. Okay, actually this is really important. I'll tell you why. I know you have cell phones and we have GPSs that tell us where to go, but this idea of being able to keep track of what's going on around you in three-dimensional space, that's good stuff. I know if you're out hiking or when we're traveling on the roads, being able to keep track of where you are in three-dimensional space is important. I think pilots, imagine that, keeping track of what's going on, the space around them, because they're really operating in 3 dimensions more than the rest of us. That didn't make a lot of sense. It does to me. Okay, because an airplane, okay, a car just goes what? Forward, backwards, left and right. An airplane has forward, backwards, well, not a lot of backwards, but okay, forwards, left and right, and up and down. So they're operating in a 3-dimensional world, whereas when you're driving, you're more just operating in a 2-dimensional plane. Okay. Sorry, I just kept talking. That's it. Okay.